Okay, welcome back to Let's Play Victoria 2, and I can't spell right, so I fixed it, my fleet name, because vowels are hard. Anyway, yeah, okay, so, a little, basically, I guess, putting out feelers for which side we should be on in the next game was pretty inconclusive, actually. So basically we're going to stay the course for now. But one of the things we're going to do is just keep opening these up by switching governments and basically get it back to where we were before, with the exception of voting, because that would switch us out of absolute monarchy. Now, if we switch to landed, I think we just switched to Prussian constitutionalism, which would basically make us basically Imperial Germany. So, just keep that in mind. That Prussian constitutionalism is still basically puts us at the point where we can do either side, because we have to take that step to go on to HM government again. Goals for this session, basically, we've got 22 infamy, so we can't really do anything right now, but Jalsamir here is just one state, and it looks like they have no units at all, and we completely surround them, so we're going to take care of them when we get a chance. We have a truce with the Turkish Caliphate, obviously, until 1881, so not much we can do with that. Burma is probably our next logical choice. Now, it would be a good idea to let Awad, or however you pronounce this, be taken by the Turkish Caliphate, but they're actually in their sphere, so Turkey will not attack them, at least in a normal game. So because I have the mod that's part of the Popdoman mod that lets you kick out people with in your sphere, they might do it, but they probably won't. Another possibility is someone removes them from their sphere or something like that. I don't think that's going to happen. So basically, I'm going to have to do both. So yeah. The best way to accomplish that is probably to attack Awad as soon as I can, and then wait until I have my truce gone with Turkey to take the rest of it, because I need all of it to the region. So, and they only have one place, so it's not too hard. I'm just basically to leave these two alone. I mean, they're all the way up in the mountains, and they're in Turkey's sphere. And this one isn't, but I actually might want to try sphering these guys. Yeah, let's mess with that. Because I mean, they're a tiny place that, I mean, I don't think they have anything useful to us. Yeah, just some wool, and yeah, it's just not worth bothering. Bhutan is basically the same way, so it's not worth it to bother. Burma, on the other hand, has tropical woods and all kinds of stuff. So, well, by all kinds of stuff, I mean opium and tropical wood. So that's a valid possibility. Yeah. We're getting kind of worried about Russia basically owning the crap out of everyone over here. I may actually have to get into a war with them later if I actually end up going past Indochina in my conquests. The war with Rome and Bohemia is still going on. And yeah, Rome is still losing. but I don't know how this is going to end up. So, yeah, and America has again intervened with a war with Russia, or rather a war in Asia. But the last one ended up with them actually not being able to stop them. So we'll see. We'll see about this time. Our national focuses are moving along. This place is very nearly done at 87%, or 0.87%. And this one's moving along nicely at 0.41%. So this one will probably be done before the end of next year. And this one, I'm not sure. I put this one probably before this one, but it's got a good proportion of British people, so it can grow more or less good as time goes on. Yeah, these are obviously moving more slowly, but still at a decent enough pace that I think they'll be states by the end of the game. And we've still got a few things to work with to colonize. And my African states are moving quickly into being states, so it's not really a problem to do that. Something else I might consider is doing my Australian states. But even with the culture being pretty much 100% us, it's still kind of difficult without focusing bureaucrats. It's not like the United States where it just kind of happens naturally for a lot of them. So, yeah, I'm going to let my infamy go down a bit more. And be back when we have something else to do. Hey, check this out. Celtic communists. They're quite small. Much smaller than the Jacobites and much smaller than the angry rioters, the Indian sepoys. And they're basically the smallest rebel group that exists. So not much chance right now of having a giant revolt because of them. The sepoys are actually probably the most dangerous. But we'll see. Well, Rome's allied with Bavaria now, and we've discovered a raider group doctrine. I missed the thing because I was trying to click on something else. So, what else should we get now? Well, still behind in Navy tech, so it's probably a good idea to get naval decision making. But let's take a look at other stuff. I'm pretty caught up on this stuff, but this stuff does give pretty major bonuses. And then I could still get more artillery. I'm also behind in the commerce traits. Let's actually get let's get collectivist theory and get some of these social reform desires and stuff out of it, and good factory cost bonuses and some prestige. So yeah, that's pretty good. Let's look at this. Oh, this will give us better administration efficiency. I still think getting that first would be better. Yeah, and this one's kind of okay. Well, this will give us actually a factory to use. I don't know if we have that much tobacco. Anyway, I'm gonna get this, and yeah, basically try to get everything caught up to where we are. And because some stuff opens in 3 years, basically don't want to be too far behind on everything. That's kind of why we dropped out of our commerce thing to begin with. What? Well, I guess Russia's got even more problems here. Because, yeah, well, America would maybe just be holding them up with some war scores. Turkey can actually do something about this. I guess we'll see. So we've got standard Raider Group Doctrine, which gives us an ironclads a pretty good speed increase. So yeah, and again with these events that kind of give the trade union things. I've pretty much been alternating with which ones I pick to try to moderate the effect of it, but I'm not sure how much of a positive effect that's going to have compared to just picking one group over the other. Some reactionaries over here in Rome, so we might see them switch back to absolute monarchy also. But not too many of them. But their main army is fighting more for the rest of their European stuff rather than being over here, so we'll see how that turns out. Another discovery, we've got the fast ship killer. I guess it's just a speed bonus to our ships that are smaller ships, I guess. Steam transports being the most important one, because we don't actually have monitors. We do have commerce traders, but we've got like 4 of them, so. But this is actually pretty good, the +2 attack for navies. Pretty great. Well, there it goes. Russia has again given up on its war because of other great powers intervening. So, I suppose that's in the end good for us, because it means that we can have more control over what happens in Asia, and if we ever do get in a war with Russia, it'll mean they're weaker. They do have a troubling amount of northern China, but it's possible that we might actually have to be friends with the Turks or Japan in fighting them eventually. I hope not, because, you know, yeah. Although, maybe Russia will declare war on Bohemia or something, and then Turkey will backstab them and take all this stuff. I find that unlikely, but it might happen. Okay, we have an event, and I just want to say that having 20 railroads finish at once is this really weird, like, robot sound. So, if you ever have that happen, you know what I'm talking about. Right now it's down to like 4 per day, but before it was like 20 provinces at once. Anyway, reform route. People have taken to the streets in one of our states, exasperated over the lack of political representation, and held a rally calling on the government to institute political reform. While the rally has largely been peaceful affair, several incendiary speeches were held during it. Tensions between conservatives and liberals are running high. Local aristocrats are calling on the government to condemn the speeches made at the rally and muster support for holding back political reforms and protect the established order. Supporting the aristocratic call means angering local progressives, but not doing it means angering both conservatives and aristocrats. We'd say the government wants to achieve reform, and the Matama region, all aristocrats basically get angry, and conservatives get angry. Some militancy and consciousness. You can say reforms will come when the time is right, and all pops become 50% more conservative, and then the people who are liberal and socialist gain a 2 militancy. Again, what I'd like to do is look at the province and see who would be the least affected by it, but I don't know where this is. Zoom in a bit more so you can see better where that was pointing to. Okay, somewhere over here. Get off my pointer. Okay. A weird Jewish profits come from. Whatever. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of... Well, there's a lot of liberals, but socialists there's not a lot of. No, I guess that's socialists, so yeah. And so it looks like the socialists and liberals would get a lot worse than this one, so we're going to do that. They're angry. And I'm basically doing that as part of the moderating process to prevent people from getting too angry at me for stuff. And probably get back to that politics, right? Yeah, I just want this number to be as low as possible. Because this is dangerous. The rest of the stuff's not really that dangerous, with the exception of like the angry rioters. Who cares about that? And the sepoys, which I have most of my army in India, so that would be the easiest one to fight. This, however, will basically explode all over my empire, so that would be bad. I think it's time to switch to something else, so that I can put another reform in. Last time I think I was the conservatives. Let's put the liberals back in. And put in a reform. That's the wrong one. Obviously not that, and we'll do that. Cool. And as you can see, this does actually put more conservatives in. So that's good for those people who want conservatives and reactionaries in power. Basically limits the amount of pie that the liberals can maintain by doing this. Well, actually, much sooner than I expected, we have converted this into a state. Awesome. And it's always a free state because slavery is illegal, obviously. So, yeah, let's focus some aristocrats for a couple months, or capitalists, I should say, so that we get some people building factories, and then focus workers for a little bit, and then find a new state to start working on. Let's check our other states while we're here. This is moving up at a good clip. And over here I don't expect to be very high. Still moving up pretty slowly. Yeah, but that's largely because of our population proportion isn't as high there. Down here we have a pretty high population proportions, like this, even just starting is like 30% for pretty much all of our provinces. So that'll be easy once we get around to that. Now check this out. The Netherlands is in the sphere of influence of Japan. What the hell? Probably because of this. That would be my guess. That's pretty funny. Oh ho ho! Looks like France has decided that they want to be an absolute monarchy too. Which switches their flag. Rebellion in our ally. This event is triggered by this. The French government has been toppled, and the rebels blame Celtic influence as one of the primary causes of the old regime's corruption. Which is funny because we're an absolute monarchy, and yeah, they're basically installing the same government we have. We have lost our influence in France as a result, and the only question that remains is whether we wish to press our claim by force. You can say they're not worth it. Lose 5 prestige, and all pops. Support jingoism, gain 1 militancy in relation to France, change by 50. Or we can press our claim, gain 1 infamy, and all pops that support pacifism gain 1 militancy in our relation with France is decreased by 100. We end our alliance with France and gain an add to sphere causes belli on France. Well, let's take a look at things. France is pretty powerful, actually. We've got good relations with them. And at the moment, we have an alliance with them, and and they're in our sphere. If we drop them, if we allow them to leave our sphere, they'll probably be added by someone else. But basically the reason I had them sphered in the first place was, one, because it was funny, and two, because so that they wouldn't get killed by Sardinia Piedmont. I think the danger of that happening is now over, and yeah, we can regain our alliance and stuff. So we're gonna say they're not worth it. Lose a little bit of prestige and get a few people angry, but it's not too bad. So. Ally with us. Oh, we're still allied with them. Looks like, yeah. So basically, we lose our sphere on them, but we can regain that hopefully. Well. Speaking of Occitania, it looks like they've gone under in favor of Austria-Hungary. So, got a new great power on the stage. Huh. Cool. Let's try and sphere him. For Occitania. This probably won't work because some influence into it. I'm not sure how they're going to pull this, but Russia's declared war on another Asian faction. And, yeah. Not sure how that's going to turn out. Whatever. Mummy found. Oh, crap. I think I picked the other one last time, so. Oh, okay. Our excavation team, working in the Valley of Kings, has uncovered a hereto undiscovered tomb. The mummified remains of an Egyptian high priest of the 19th dynasty. I almost read that as century. The interior of the tomb is rich in decorations, and the discovery is an enormous success for our Egyptian expedition. And we gained more modern tech points because we're discovering mummies. Yay. Obviously the Egyptians were experts at Marxist collectivist theory, because that basically pushes us over to discover that. Like, oh, the missing pieces. This mummy obviously knows a lot about factories. So, yeah, okay. That's very good because it means that we can finish that tech faster. So we could probably finish one more tech before we have to start working on our 1880 stuff. I think another commerce tech is prudent, since we don't really have that many navy techs to do. And these ones have more of a big bonus. So let's get time-saving measures, since it opens up another factory. So that's good. And we have peace in Europe for the first time in several years. And Bohemia, Moravia, and Rome have settled their differences after a long war over pretty much nothing, since the Hanover issue is no longer an issue for Rome, and Austria has kind of driven a wedge between them. So, yeah, it's pretty much a mutual agreement thing to stop fighting, even though they both had two war goals on each other. So it ends up turning out all right, in that nobody lost anything. Obviously, this is a defeat for Rome, who started the war, and a defeat for Bohemia, who added war goals. So they both lose prestige in this. But we'll see now whether Bohemia can actually pull it together, since they don't have any great powers to deal with in the rest of North Germany. If they can actually form Scandinavia, just form the North German Federation with some Scandinavia in their sphere. We'll see. Well, it turns out that yes they can. And what happens, as you can see from the map, is that basically Scandinavia keeps everything that they still have, but everything else gets formed into the North German Federation, which is actually much bigger than the normal North German Federation would be. So the South German Federation would be this. So we'll see if Austria can pull that off, and they haven't even started spearing anyone yet. But yeah, that's actually quite scary. Yeah, look at that industrial score. We were catching up, and now we're not. So we'll see. Let's look up Württemberg and Scandinavia in their sphere. So with Scandinavia in their sphere, they'll probably never get the rest of this crap that they need for Germany. But by the time, if they manage to form the German Empire, then yeah, because these aren't actually part of the North German Federation, so to speak, they didn't join. And it looks like they got some liberal, anarcho-liberal people here. So quite interesting, and it's the first step to Mega Germany of Doom. Colonial Weariness. I don't know if we've had this event before. I think we have. And what I cannot fathom is why our government insists on paying thousands, if not millions of pounds yearly to maintain imperialistic projects overseas that serve only as strains on the national budget. We were not invited to the colonies, and frankly, I find our presence in them to be rude. Rude? Okay. An anti-colonial malaise has taken hold in the Celtic Empire, and more of our people are beginning to question our colonial ambitions. The colonies are increasingly being seen more as burdens than as boons, and the situation is beginning to hamper our ability to motivate them before the general public. Well, we can say the colonies are of vital importance to the nation. For any province that is not a colonial state, we gain 0.5 consciousness, or we can undertake a national campaign in favor of them and lose 5 prestige and gain 1 war exhaustion. I don't think we have any war exhaustion right now. Consciousness is not very bad. So I'm just going to pick the consciousness one. That's fine. So we have a pretty well-established factory and stuff here, so I don't think encouraging craftsmen here is worth it anymore. Let's check our only progress here. Pretty good, pretty good. We still got a bunch of them working in India, so let's check to see if we have any good places in Africa with which to work. Well, it looks like this would be the best one. So let's just go straight into that. I don't want to start working on the stuff up here yet because it's very, very small British things, proportions of their population, which basically means we'd have to have the entire population of the region. Actually, these are not down here, not colonial regions anyway, so it's not important. But up here is where we're concerned about. And they do have pretty high populations, so we might work with that eventually. Let's wait until we get our South African stuff finished first. Well, we've discovered Karl Marx because of mummies. And, yeah. Communist stuff. We get some prestige. I don't think we actually were the first to discover this, so... maybe we are. I'll give us a little bonus here. Well, that wasn't a good idea. What? Why would they do that? I don't understand why they would do that. I can't even get into there because they got that huge rebel stack. Well, no, because France is 87 dudes. Huh. Maybe they're... Oh, yeah, they have a lot of rebels. That might actually work, now that I think about it. Lithuanians. What? Okay. Sure. Whatever. I guess that war was a bit more destructive on them than I thought. We'll see how that turns out. Ah, it's a separate war. So, yeah. Actually, Scandinavia might save them in this. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, another person to discover. Sydney Webb. She just gives us prestige. The Celtic Red Star. A new daily with no shame about its political leanings has been incorporated in Cairo. The Celtic Red Star, official party organ for the Celtic Socialist Party. The Red Star publishes deeply moving social commentaries, seldom without picturesque little reports on the conditions of working men and women across the world. The Red Star stands, or so it claims, for international solidarity, workers' rights, unionism, class struggle on a broad democratic and socialist basis. I shall suggest down at the club that they start a subscription. Gin anyone? All rich strata gain 0.5 consciousness and gain 1 militancy. Become 1% more socialists. Say, what is this horrid piece of paper? A fish and chips wrapping? And all poor strata gain, basically, 0.5 consciousness and 0.5 militancy and become 5% more socialist. Let's get the least number of people socialist in this as we can. Ooh, an oil well found in Dubai. Awesome. An ocean of oil. Great. So, yeah, that starts pretty good. There it is right here. Oils. Oh ho ho! Looks like, well, losing a bit on the western front. The NGF is basically crushing Lithuania. Russia's not doing anything about it. But yeah, we'll see how they respond to France doing whatever they're doing. Yeah. Let's go basically back and forth on this, I guess. Okay, we've got another wave of colonial unrest. Let's make some concessions. I don't want to gain 1 militancy everywhere. And it's only 15 prestige. We got like, this is like 0.1% of our prestige. Who cares? Well, that was fast. Let's take a look at the map now. Whoa! Okay, well, that's, cuts Lithuania down to size, I suppose. Now we'll just see how they deal with France. So, time-saving measures. Great. One of the things I'm doing is I'm actually reducing my taxes for everybody, because I'm gaining so much money that I can afford to. Put it down all the way. Yeah, I can. I don't think that's prudent, so we'll put it up to 12% for everybody. And then reduce this to 15. No, let's make it 15 for everybody. Hopefully we can get this these numbers up on the poor population. Whoa! It looks like things are about to go really bad for France if they don't do something. Oh, that's their whole army. Oh man. Do we want to rescue our buddy? I mean, we can't because they have a war goal. I mean, they can call us, but they're not. Will they do that? looks really bad for France. I mean, they steal all our buds and stuff. We don't want to shoot. Okay. What are these graphical glitches? Oh, that's water. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, I know about these purple and green spots, but what are these rebels? Reactionaries. Okay. So, okay, I forgot to set a. Actually, I'm not going to set a technology. I'm just going to let it run until 1880 and see what we unlock. We can do a whistle stop tour again, which basically sets our timer back to 1889. Lose some militancy and gain some prestige. It's a little bonus.